Saban coming in right at you on a Wednesday, hump day, the hottest show on the streets. Bringing you all of your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Proud to have each and every last one of you checking out the show. On today, we bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. And speaking of a channel, you go ahead right now, you tap that subscribe button, hit subscribe right now, share the show, get every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football to subscribe and share as well. We appreciate all of you. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. Tap that thumbs up one time. Give us that like button. Run those likes up. Trying to get this 50 likes out the gate here to start the show. That daily Super Chat go $100. Daily Super Chat go $100 right there. We thank all of you. Continue to also tap that notification bell there so that way you miss nothing when it comes down to your Tide football news. We got a lot to get into, have a conversation on, and want to hear from you tonight. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. The number 2, call in and let your voice be made known on the show. 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from all of you. But, John, we're going to get into right now, first topic of the conversation, that being, for me, this is a defining season coming up in the fall for Coach Saban in Alabama football. A very defining season due to, you look at the script that the national media has going on, the script that a lot of rival fan bases have going on. This is a defining year for Coach Saban to kind of reestablish himself as he is the standard bearer in college football. And the reason why I say this is you got a lot of teams, a lot of coaches, a lot of fan bases right now that feel like we can beat Alabama. We're better than Alabama. We can beat Alabama. We've caught up to Alabama. We've surpassed Alabama. No, we are the new standard on the block here. Like, Alabama ain't nothing no more. Alabama ain't scary no more. Alabama ain't fearsome no more. We can go toe-to-toe with Coach Saban and Alabama football. And for starters here, we saw Brian Kelly of the LSU Tigers, who won the SEC West a season ago. The Tigers who did beat Alabama in the 2022 campaign. That Brian Kelly went to the Houston Touchdown Club and took a dig there at Alabama, saying, "I just love beating Alabama." Though it was Brian Kelly's first win over the Crimson Tide, over Nick Saban. Here's Brian Kelly, "I love beating Alabama." I mean, here's a guy that mentioned that we are no longer the hunters, but the hunted. Everybody's going to be after us in terms of the LSU Tigers. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting when you look at LSU has to come to Bryant-Denny Stadium in the coming fall to play against Coach Saban and the Crimson Tide. But there's Brian Kelly taking his shot there at Coach Saban and the Alabama program. Then you look at a lot of the national talking heads. They look at Georgia as the new standard bearer in college football. And a lot of them look at Kirby Smart as he's the guy that has a better handle on the sport, that has a better operation of the sport than Coach Saban does. You look at, Kirby Smart, two-time defending college football playoff national champion. Georgia will have more than likely the best odds to potentially have a shot there at a three-peat. So a lot of the national media, they look at Georgia. Georgia's the standard bearer. Georgia's the new, thing. Georgia's the new measuring stick, if you will, in college football. So you have that to contend and battle with. And then, after beating Alabama and having the season that they had, Tennessee decided to give Josh Heupel a new contract extension. And he's making $9 million now after a season where the Volunteers went, 11-2? And in one of those seasons, beat Alabama. And one of those wins was against the Crimson Tide. So, a lot of people very much so talking like, Coach Saban doesn't really have it like he used to have it. Georgia, new standard bearer, LSU saying love, beating Alabama. We are now the hunted now. People are coming for us. Tennessee, after Josh Heupel gets his first win over Coach Saban, he gets a huge contract extension. And you even have kind of the Auburn faithful that go, we got Hugh Freeze over here. Hugh Freeze beat Coach Saban twice during his time there in Ole Miss. So to me, this is a defining year for Coach Saban. Here is his shot to really quiet everybody up, shut everybody up, and restamp himself as, I'm still that dude. I'm still that guy in college football, and everybody's jockeying for a position behind me. I'm still that guy in college football. And I feel like if Coach Saban's able to get this national championship in the upcoming fall, not only does he surpass the legendary Bear Bryant in terms of national championships in Alabama, because he would have 7, but he would also definitively state, I'm still that guy in terms of the sport. Yes, Kirby Smart got back-to-back, but if Saban was able to get this national championship this time around, he would not only silence a bit of that momentum of Georgia, but he would also restamp himself as, I'm still the head honcho here of this sport. But it'll be very interesting to see how Saban goes about this process, summer workouts, fall camp here in the upcoming season, because this is a defining one for him. But we'll take a break right here on the show and touch that down. We're just getting you started here. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We get to you guys. Do you guys feel like this is a defining season coming up here for Coach Saban? We'll get your thoughts after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, folks, we're back into the action from the break on the number 1 ticket here for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you guys in here. Continue tapping that subscribe button, sharing the show to everybody that you know. We appreciate the love there. Also, continue to hit the like button. Give us that thumbs up. Run those likes up right there. We love that. We appreciate that. 20 more likes away from that goal of 50. Continue for the 50 so far. Continue to hit that like button right there. We appreciate that. That daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. We thank you guys. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, what's up, Steve? This is Jason from Tennessee.
Jay, what's happening?
Not much, man. Not much. I have to agree with what you said about how everybody is just considering that there's a new standard in college football after just the way we played the last couple of seasons. You know, I live here in Tennessee, and I have to listen to these delusional Vol fans every day. But at the end of the day, I think they're going to realize that a lot of what we went through was just dealing with the coordinators that we had. After seeing that spring game, I saw a different team. I saw a hungry, feisty defense that was getting after the football. And I saw an offensive line that was moving people, getting push, and a running game that looked far better than what we had last year. I think there's going to be a lot of teams eating their words.
Jason, I see the exact same thing. I saw a defense under Kevin Steele that resembles the earlier defenses of the Nick Saban era. Those guys were tackling, shooting gaps, making plays, getting turnovers, flying around the field. I echo your statement with the offensive line. Those guys, big, physical, moving people. I like what's going on here. I know people are really concerned about the entire quarterback room, but I think that will even solve itself out.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I think we will be fine at quarterback with the two that we have, or the three, if you include Dylan Lonergan, because he played really good.
He really did.
As far as the transfer, I've watched some video on him, and I mean, I know he may know the system, but I think either Milroe or Simpson, either one, could do a much better job than he could, especially from the progress that I've seen they've made. Because I think each one of them made throws that they wouldn't have made last year. And I'm gonna chalk their mistakes up to our defense.
Good point right there from Jason. Appreciate him calling in there from Tennessee. I mean, Alabama's defense was feisty in that spring game, and that's a part of what Kevin Steele is bringing back, and that's that toughness, that's that physicality, that's that I'm going to make you quit every time you get on this field, and that's what Kevin Steele is bringing back in here. Offensively, this is a different time because I feel like you have people that want to get back to the ground and pound, absolutely. And you have people that feel like, Alabama's had Bryce Young, it's had Mac Jones, it's had, Tua Tagovailoa, these air vertical attack game passers that you love and that you enjoy, and you want to have the best of both worlds. You really do. And you can't be upset at the crowd that wants the ground and pound, but you also can't be upset at the crowd that sees the last few years Alabama has had an explosive quarterback and kind of want to continue that. What I would like is to meet in the middle, kind of have that happy medium there. Maybe that can't happen in the upcoming season, but one thing I do know is the talent's there. Across the board, you have talent at quarterback, you got talent on the offensive line, got talent at running back, got talent at wide receiver, tight end room looks good. Talent all across the defense, guys wanting to be great and make plays again. So, to me, it's about putting the guys in the right spots to have that success out there on the field. But as you guys will continue to get your thoughts in here, we got a cool call topic, and that being on one Bryce Young, who last week, number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, the first number 1 overall pick in the Nick Saban era for Alabama. He becomes the first number 1 overall pick in the common draft era for the Crimson Tide since Joe Namath went number 1 overall in the 1965 draft. Bryce Young will be able to keep his number 9 from his days at Alabama. According to the Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young will sport that number 9. According to SpotRack.com, a company that does a lot of the contracts, Bryce Young pocketing a cool 4-year, $37 million deal there, $24.6 million signing bonus there. That meant paid is Mr. Bryce Young. That deal includes a 5th-year option for him. So as long as Frank Reich and that entire Panther organization can keep an offensive line around this young man, protecting this young man, and along with getting some valuable wide receivers. I know they got Adam Thielen from the Vikings. They can surround him with a bit more, guys to be very good there for Bryce Young. But we take a break here, folks, from the show and touch that dial. When we get back, we'll get into this conversation. Does Alabama dip into the transfer portal for experience in the defensive secondary. We'll talk DBs after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, here we go. Back into the action from the break. Number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Continue hitting that like button, folks. Tapping that thumbs up, giving us that like right there on the show, showing that support. We're at 50, but let's go for 100. Continue hitting that like button, tapping that thumbs up there. Let's go for 100 likes here on the show. We appreciate all of you for what you do. That daily super chat go, $100 right there. Daily super chat go, $100. We thank you. All donations welcome and appreciated. But John, second topic here of conversation. After looking at getting a transfer quarterback in Tyler Buckner from Notre Dame, now the conversation turns toward, does Coach Saban dip back into the portal on the defensive side of the ball, this time for a experienced defensive back? Does Saban and Travaris Robinson, secondary coach, are they looking at an experienced DB here in the portal? And the reason why we're asking this question is they've actually offered two guys that are in the portal, a cornerback and a safety. They offered safety Jalen Key from UAB, who's in the portal, and they offered Trey Amos, who is the cornerback of Louisiana Lafayette, that's in the portal also. Both guys have experience in their respective programs. Both guys put up pretty good numbers in their respective programs. But these are the two guys, Key and Amos, in the transfer portal for their respective schools. Both guys been offered by the Crimson Tide. And the reason why this is happening is, go back to Jacquez Robinson and Traquan Fagans both hit the transfer portal days before the spring game. Jacquez Robinson, redshirt junior, came in that 2020 class out of Jacksonville, Florida. He's now committed to the Colorado Buffaloes coach, Prime Deion Sanders up there. Traquan Fagans, who came in as a four-star in the 2022 class, still in the portal, though he's been visiting with quite a few teams so far. This is the reason why Coach Saban mentioned after the A-Day game that he had to make some adjustments there in that defensive backfield with Earl Little II and Malachi Moore, because you lost two guys to the transfer portal that brought you experience in terms of knowing the star role and nickel and knowing the boundary cornerback role as well. But you look at here depth-wise, I can understand this move over taking a transfer quarterback. I can understand this move because you do need depth in the secondary. Alabama has lost several guys to the draft and to other places. When you look at DeMarco Hellams in the NFL, Jordan Battle in the NFL, Brian Branch in the NFL, Eli Ricks has signed to an NFL team. You lost Traquan Fagans, Jacquez Robinson, both in the portal. You lost Kyrie Jackson. So 7 guys that had a lot of experience. You lost those guys. And after Kool-Aid and Terrion and Malachi Moore, you really don't have guys that have a lot of experience on the field. So they have talent, absolutely, very talented. Earl Little is extremely talented. Caleb Downs, extremely talented. Christian Story, extremely talented. Jake Pope, talented. Dez Ricks, talented. Antonio Kite, talented. You have a lot of talented guys, but not just necessarily experienced. So I can see here in the secondary why Coach Saban, which would maybe consider the portal and bringing in an experienced defensive back, or maybe a couple of experienced defensive backs. Yes, depth is important, but does Saban take this move, right? Especially after we saw in the spring game, Dez Rick stepped up. He had, 2 or 3 pass breakups. Antonio Kite had 2 or 3 pass breakups. Jake Pope had a whale of a game. 10 tackles. He popped. Jermaine Burton won good time. Like, Jake Pope had a whale of a game. So do you still dip into the portal despite those guys having success there in the A-Day game, or do you choose to roll with the guys you already have? This is going to be something very interesting from Coach Saban if he does choose to hop in the portal. But at the very least, you do have, Key, who's got experience coming over from UAB, and Amos, who's got experience as a corner coming over from Louisiana Lafayette. But we take another break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial, because upon our return, we go back to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Light us up. Let us hear what you have to say right after this.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care, in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99, and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full-year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, how we feeling? How we feeling out there? Rocking and rolling with you to the action from the break of a number one form for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man John Ivory running the controls there in the production studio. Continue to hit the like button. Tap that like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. Hit that subscribe button as well. Share the show to everybody you know, because if you're feeling the content, they will also. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. Appreciate all donations, super chats, welcome too. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. We take this call right now. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Mike from Kentucky, man. What's up, brother?
Doing good, Mike. Doing good. How about yourself, man?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be twins.
Hey, for real now?
Yeah, bro. Hey, man, on the defensive secondary depth issue, that's going to be kind of a tough, it's going to be hard to find guys that are good enough to play for Alabama that aren't already playing full-time somewhere else. You know what I mean? That are quality. True. I mean, you look at, I know that the Jalen Key guy has experience coming from UAB, and I get the Amos guy, the corner, has experience coming over from Louisiana Lafayette. I just go back to the spring game. We saw a lot of guys, young players that stepped up. I mean, Jake Pope stepped up. Dez Rick stepped up. Antonio Kite stepped up. And I understand you don't necessarily have guys that have a lot of big experience behind Kool-Aid and Terrion Arnold, but these young guys did show you on the field in the spring game that they have the potential and the tools to be something.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, remember that kid that transferred to Georgia, Kirby's first year?
Yeah, that was Maurice Smith.
Right. I mean, he was next man up.
He really was. He really was. He really
was going to be on the field. You know, he was next man up, and he was going to see playing time, but he was just dead set on being a starter. I think that kid that just transferred, you know, he was that guy, you know, next man up. He was the next guy in line in case of emergency. You know, dude, you're on the field. I don't see why he transferred.
I don't see that. I don't see it either, Mike, and I know I'm referring to Jacquez Robinson because he was the next man up. Jacquez had finally got the weight on him. He was at 200 pounds. He had finally gotten everything that he needed. He's played at both corner and star, so he knew the entire defense, and I just don't understand why. And like the scrimmage prior to the A-Day game, I was told he had a pick six off of Jalen Milroe and was really playing well. So I don't understand why he chose to hop in the portal. I don't get it.
Might have been NIL money thrown at him. He couldn't refuse or something. Who knows?
Probably so.
I mean, has he gone to another team yet?
Well, Colorado coach Deion Prom Sanders got him.
Yeah. Deion probably threw some change at him. You know, it's hard to say. But, Stephen, let me change gears real quick. This Buckner kid that's coming in from Notre Dame, how much film have you watched on this cat?
I've watched some. I've broken down some. And he's okay. I mean, he's okay. He's decent. He's all right. But at the same time, I still look at, Milroe can give you that. Simpson can give you that. I'm not taking nothing from Buckner, but I'm just saying he's okay. There's tools there, but, Milroe and Simpson can give you that.
Here's the one thing. Now, he's not as good as a runner as Milroe, but I tell you what, that kid don't slide, and you got to give him a heck yeah for that, bro. When he takes off, he don't do no sliding into second base. He gets all he can get. So, I mean,
he tough. No, I get it. He tough.
And I was watching some film on him, and he was rolling to the right and still had the presence of mind to spot a guy running wide open down the left side and threw it right on him on the run, clear across the field. I mean, I say, and the one thing I think he does a little bit better than Milroe is his game clock is a little bit faster. He's a little more decisive. When he makes a decision, he makes it. I didn't see any negative plays on some of the game film I watched on him. And that's where Milroe gets in trouble a little bit. Sometimes he waits a little bit too long and the blindside, pressure gets to him. So I was a little bit surprised at how I don't think he's that bad. I think he just, we're all a bunch of homers. And we love the Milroe. We love Ty. They've been in the program. I say give him a shot and, let the chips fall where they may. I think he's a work in progress, just like the other two cats. So, I mean, I just like the way when he decides to take off, he takes off. While the getting's good, he gets positive yards, man. And I don't know, give him a shot. He hasn't won me over. I ain't saying I want him to be the starter, but I think he deserves a fair shot. What do you think, Stephen?
Mike, that's why, my man, when fall camp gets in here, we gonna see. I mean, Coach Saban brought this young man in for a reason, and we're about to see the reason coming up here August, this fall camp. So we're gonna see it right then. Appreciate Mike from Kentucky calling into the show. We take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, this is James from Decatur.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I just talk about the defense. I think that guy Jake, I think he gonna be really good on secondary. And I like the last caller said, I think the QB can be pretty good, but I still think Milroe go take the job. So God bless. Jesus Christ be with y'all.
Appreciate James calling in, giving his thoughts here on the show. Like I said, fall camp, August is going to be interesting. We're going to get a chance to see all of these guys battling it out. Who really want it? Who wants to rise to the top? Jonathan McMillan enrolls to the top. That $100 super chat donation as Jonathan McMillan took care of the goal by himself today. Dancing Steven getting on that desk there, having him some fun there. Appreciate Jonathan McMillan throwing the love right there in the bucket there. Appreciate that. But, man, John, fall camp is going to be good. I don't know if they'll let us back on the field again. I want us to be back on the field again for practice. I really do. But I don't know at what point will they ever let us back on the field again. One thing I do know, this competition here in this quarterback room, when the cream rises up and we see who that guy is, it'll be fun to locate that guy. But we're going to go to a cool call topic right here on the show. And Derrick Henry, who's about to enter his 8th NFL season for the Tennessee Titans, got drafted in the second round of the 2016 venue. 4 1,000-plus yard rushing seasons, 4-time Pro Bowl selection, first-team NFL All-Pro in 2020, NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 2020, just a host of awards in his career so far. But Henry, at 29 years old, he's got some of the most insane off-season workout videos, John. I think this guy is Rocky Balboa on stage. I think this guy is Rocky Balboa intensified. Because whether he's in the gym doing just crazy gym workouts, whether he's outside flipping tires, pulling trucks up a hill, or he's up at 6 o'clock in the morning running up huge, steep mountains. Just running up mountains. Like, this guy has himself in peak condition where he's inflicting pain on every defender he goes against in the NFL. I mean, every offseason, we keep watch on just these superhuman workout videos here from one Derrick Henry. So King here, keep them coming. Keep them coming there, King Henry. We take our final break here, folks, in the show and touch that down. When we get back, we look at the linebacker position for Alabama, primarily inside linebacker. How does this shake out here for Coach Saban, Kevin Steele, Robert Bama, the inside linebacker room? We'll tidy up loose ends after this.
Look at all these great players in Touchdown Alabama magazine. Man, wait till I turn up this year. I'm gonna be on the front cover. But what if Will goes off? Or Joe, DeMarco, Chris, Tim, Christian.
Don't wait. Order now at touchdownalabama.com or call 833-483-2624 today.
Christian.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Right back at you here, folks, from the break to the action, hottest show on these streets. We're talking your Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Appreciate all of you liking the show. Continue to like the show. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Share the show around. Make this your place for Alabama football. All donations welcome here and appreciated. But Final topic of conversation, John, the inside linebacker room that has a lot of talent, a lot of bodies, a lot of skill, but how does it shake out for Nick Saban, Kevin Steele, and Robert Bama, who have a lot of inside linebackers to choose from? And there's a position where you look at Kevin Steele and Robert Bama, they know, hey, we got to have this right. We got to have the right two guys playing on the inside. We got to have this in order. Kevin Steele as a defensive coordinator, bringing back that toughness, that swagger, that aggressiveness and style of play. Robert Bala, the young inside linebackers coach, the teacher, did a good job throughout spring practice. Got to continue that. When you look at summer workouts and fall camp. But it all comes down here to me, John, is who does Nick Saban feel more comfortable as the middle linebacker, the Mike linebacker, the guy in the middle setting the pieces up on defense? And you got a few guys to choose, a couple of guys to choose from. You look at Deontay Lawson, who played quite a lot last year. Lawson had 51 tackles a season ago, 2.5 of those for loss, and that was him at the weak side linebacker position. But if you feel more comfortable with him at the Mike backer spot calling the defense, then I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like a Jahad Campbell starts at that will spot just due to his ability to rush the passer, hit the gaps, cut down the running back in the backfield, just make those huge splash plays that guys like Christian Harris, guys like Rashaan Evans, made that weak linebacker spot, see ball, get ball. Also, you put Reuben Foster in that category as well. But let's say Saban feels more so comfortable with Tresman Marshall, the transfer from Georgia, being the Mike linebacker. You could keep Deontay Lawson at will if you chose to go that route. It's just which one of these two, between Marshall and Lawson, do you feel 100% more comfortable and confident running that middle of the defense, making the calls there on the field from that side of the ball? Because you got other guys in the room when you discuss Kendrick Blackshire, Sean Murphy, I mentioned Jahad Campbell, and Justin Jefferson, the JUCO transfer. Now, Justin Jefferson showed me a lot in the spring game. I mean, he was reading plays, shooting through, making tackles, hitting guys behind the line of scrimmage. Like, Jefferson was about that business. And I feel like he's going to get quite the amount of opportunities himself. Kendrick Blackshire had a great spring game. He had 8 tackles. You got Jahad Campbell, who was flying around the field as well. It's going to be hard to keep him off the field. Sean Murphy has a lot of speed. He could be used in some pass rush, third down, nickel and dime packages. So Bama and Kevin Steele have a lot of inside linebackers to work with. They do. It just comes down to who do you feel the most comfortable running the defense at Mike linebacker, number one. And then number two, which guy could be the best complement to that Mike linebacker as your will? Because your two outside backers, one's going to be Dallas Turner. The other one, I feel like, is going to be Chris Braswell. Now, does Keon Keeley come in here in the summer and really tear some stuff up? Does Jeremiah Alexander take over? Who knows? But to me, if I had to set it right now, your two outside linebackers, Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell. But your two inside guys, it all comes down to, number one, who would you feel the most comfortable with running Mike, whether that be Tresman Marshall or Deontay Lawson? And then which guy would be the best complement to that Mike linebacker at that wheel position? But why? Fall camp coming up in August here, as we got the months to wait for that. It'll be very, very intriguing. But as always, people, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, entertainment on your Alabama football program. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. Now, you download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description to try to get your hands on the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine. You go to touchdownalabama.com, you click join, become a member and or a subscriber today. That link in the description as well. Guys, show some love to you guys, the outstanding fans of Alabama football. Appreciate the super chats, the calls, the donations, the conversations we've had today. You making this your show, your spot to talk Bama football. Guys, show some love to my man John Ivory in the production studio, handling his thing as he always does. And until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, you guys continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself, you protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and this has been In My Own Words.